Thank you very much for having me this afternoon. I'm loath to hear the term "he has to leave," because I don't want to leave. We just have so many things going on in the city of New York today, and the annual Muslim Day Parade is, I would say, the biggest event that's happening today in the great city of New York. And to me, the opportunity to join our Grand Marshal, my colleague, City Council Member Robert Jackson. We are also joined right now by a soon-to-be Assembly Member from the Bronx, Mark Gjonaj, and so many community leaders, both here on the stage as well as here on Madison Avenue. You cannot see where the people end. There are this many tens of thousands of people out here. In New York City, we are proud. We are proud to have people from all different nationalities, of all different races, and of all different faiths. And the Muslim American community here in New York is among the fastest growing, and thereby adding to the vitality and the beauty of what the New York mosaic is all about. And I've always been proud to be a representative and be a voice for this growing community, even as it faces some issues that are very deep and issues that are mundane, even having to deal with city agencies like the Department of Finance, Department of Transportation, Department of Buildings, Department of Education, where we still have, unfortunately, some Muslim children and families having to choose between observing their faith and going to school and even taking important exams on some of these school days. That is not a choice that any family, that any school kid should ever have to make. Also, issues of surveillance just because of the faith that you practice or observe. That's not something that New York is about. That's, I would say, downright un-American. So there are lots of issues, but I think you've already heard from a number of speakers today. There are issues out there that we have to confront, we have to face, and we have to struggle against. But we will sell ourselves short if we do not speak out, if we do not exercise our rights. And the most fundamental American right is the right to vote. The right to vote. In this year's elections, where we have a huge amount at stake for the future of our country, next year we've got big elections in the city of New York. In every election, we have to exercise our right. Now, I am proud to be an immigrant, and I know many of us are in the immigrant community, and therefore some people cannot vote yet because they're not yet citizens. But you know what? There are still lots of people who have been here for a long time and are citizens, but for some reason did not register to vote yet. It is our responsibility to make sure that not only do we get ourselves out there to register to vote and to actually vote, but take care of every family member, every friend that can possibly have this voice. Because that is the only voice that counts in America. The voice, the power of the vote. And with the growing community here, I know the vote count keeps getting higher and higher and higher. But that is the way to influence decisions, policy making, and ultimately influence the perception of Muslims here in New York City and America. Because I do believe that some of the perception is unfairly negative. The best way to do that is to the best way to deal with that is to exercise our rights to vote. Enough about that. All I can say is that I'm proud to be here, as I am every year. This is a big parade and big festival that takes place, and it is to highlight the incredible contributions that the Muslim American community have made here in New York City and beyond. Thank you so much for having me. I'm proud to be here.
Thank you very much, Mr. John Liu. I see you everywhere, east, west, north, south.